Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy, the Chat Kid, coming back in with a fire video. How you all doing? Remember when I said I'm going to be doing that history on Sunday Man thing? Yeah, I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to do the research and do stuff about it. I'm going to write a script as well. I want it to be professional, alright? And as you can see by the title, sorry for my just rambling. But yeah, today we're going to be doing the strangest security tape I've personally ever seen. I'm going to find the author. Let's go to the bottom. Let me check. Oh, powerhawkmash. There we go. Created by powerhawkmash. Sick. And here we go. I work at a gas station in rural Pennsylvania. It's a boring job, but it's pretty easy and it pays alright. A few weeks ago, this new guy started. I'll call him Jeremy. Jeremy's weird. He's got 26. He's got the creepiest laugh I've ever heard. My boss and I have both noticed this, but it's never been a problem, so there's not much we can do about it. Customers have never complained about him, and he's always done his job fairly well, up until a few weeks ago anyway. That's when things started going missing. Employee theft can be a problem at any business that sells consumer goods, and there's only one person working at a time at the gas station. It's a pretty small place. About 2 weeks ago, my boss started noticing that we were short on motor oil. At first it was a few containers at a time, then entire shelves and boxes from the back room. Pretty soon, entire shipments would be gone from the next day after we got them, and it would always be right after Jeremy's shifts. But my boss has checked on the security camera tapes from every single night he worked, but we could never catch him in the act. Jeremy would lock up after closing, then the motor oil would be gone the next day. My boss usually takes the tapes home with him to try and catch Jeremy stealing, but his dad had a softball game last night, so he asked me to watch the tape for him. You have to pay me overtime under the table, so I obviously took that offer. There are 3 cameras, so he gave me 3 different tapes to check. I figured that would be a long night, but I'm trying to save it for vacation, so I really need the money. I took the tapes home and popped them into an old VCR and then sat back. 2 days ago, the last time he worked, Jeremy started at 4 PM. Everything seemed pretty normal at first. He counted up his drawer, switched off with the girl who was working before him, and waited for a customer. The first person who came in was Miss Templeton. The timestamp on the video read 4 minutes 3 seconds. A regular. She picked up her cigarettes and a newspaper and paid over 20. Nothing unusual there. The next customer was some local guy named Ron. He drives a motorcycle, usually comes in every few days. He filled up his tank, got a bag of beef jerky, paid with his credit card and then left. Next was some guy with a cowboy hat. I'd never seen him before, but we get plenty of strangers passing through, just like at any gas station. He got $40 worth of diesel fuel, paid with a $100 bill and then went out of his way. I sat back inside. The only thing more boring than doing this job was watching someone else do it. My boss's offer wasn't enough to keep me watching though, so I left the tape on. Everything seemed pretty normal. I had a feeling if Jeremy was stealing motor oil, he knew we were suspicious of him by now. I didn't expect him to be dumb enough that I was catching him on the camera. Things stayed boring and routine until about 5 o'clock. At 5:03, Miss Templeton came back in. She must have forgotten something. But she didn't. She bought the same pack of cigarettes as before, and the same newspaper. She paid with another 20. That's odd, I thought. But then again, she's a little absent-minded. I thought Jeremy should have told her already she got her smokes, but it's not against the rules to sell somebody the same thing twice. That's when Ron came back in. He bought another tank of gas for his motorcycle again. I later checked the outdoor camera because I thought maybe he had another car he wanted to fill up. And the same bag of beef jerky. He had with his credit card again. Hold on, I forgot to loop my song. Well, this actually isn't my song. This is Repulsive. This is Forgotten by Repulsive. Sorry. There we go. No big deal. I figure this is just a weird coincidence. Miss Templeton is forgetful, and Ron probably owns more than one Harley. That's when the guy in the cowboy hat came back in. I felt a chill run down my spine. Don't get diesel. Don't get diesel. I found myself whispering to my empty living room, but he did. He got $40 worth of diesel and paid him with another $100 bill. Every move he made was identical to his first visit, right down to the way he scratched his nose before he walked out. Either this guy's rich, owns a lot of trucks and just moved into town, or something really bizarre is happening. I kept watching. Every customer for the next hour was the same as before. Every single one. I was seriously freaked out. And then, At 6:03, Miss Templeton walked back in. She bought her cigarettes and a newspaper again and paid over 20. I thought I was going to lose it. I watched only another half hour before I started fast forwarding through the rest. It was all the same. Every customer would come back in at the exact same time, exactly 1 hour apart. Now I know what you're thinking. That sneaky motherfucker Jeremy had messed with the tapes. He had run a loop of his first hour of business over and over. That wasn't the case. There are windows around the cash register area that the camera covers, and I watched the sunlight fade as time went on. Jeremy's routine didn't loop over. He swept, mopped, restocked, and did all of his duties exactly how you would expect. But the same customers kept coming in. I was panicking at this point. Something was seriously wrong with what I was seeing. I had no explanation for it. I skipped ahead to where he locked up and walked out of his car. He hadn't stolen anything, but I kept watching just to make sure. I fast forwarded it one last time to about midnight. At 12:03, out of nowhere, Jeremy's face pops up on camera. I don't mean he moved his head into view. I mean, 1 second it was empty, the next second his face was all I could see. He wasn't looking at the camera, he was looking at me, I was sure of it. I screamed and fumbled with the remote. By the time I grabbed it, he was gone, just as soon as he had left. One framing was there, the next he wasn't. My hands were shaking like crazy, but I popped in another tape. The outdoor camera showed the back area by the cash register, and I would be able to see how he got up to put his face in the camera like that. I skipped ahead to 12:03, but that was nothing. I would have seen him standing on a chair or something like that on his tape, but it wasn't there. I didn't see him enter the store at all after he left. It's like he wasn't there. He doesn't know the security code, and no alarms triggered that night after he locked up. What I did see, however, was that at 12:03, the motor oil vanished off the shelf. All of it. Same as Jeremy's face. 1 second it was there and the next it wasn't. I turned off that tape and went to bed, but I didn't get a wink of sleep. My body's exhausted right now, but my mind's racing. That tape was undoubtedly the creepiest, most disturbing thing I've ever seen in my life. I work in a few hours. My boss asked me to bring the tapes back and let me know what I found, but really, what the hell am I going to say? Jeremy works the night shift tonight, directly after me, and the plan is for his boss to come in and just before I leave and confront him with me. As I'm supposed to be the one who caught him stealing. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I suppose I'll have to show my boss the tapes, but I don't want to watch them with him. I never want to see anything like that ever again. I can't get the image of Jeremy just smiling directly into the camera out of my mind. It was the creepiest look I've ever seen in another human being's face. Anyway, I'm going to try and get some last minute sleep before I have to go and deal with this. I'll let you guys know what happens. Update 2:49 PM. Updating from my phone. Apologies to answer errors. My boss just finished watching the last of the tapes. I told him what to expect, but you really can't prepare someone for something like that. He's scared shitless. And I still am too. And Jeremy's due to come in at 4. We've got a little over an hour to get our shit together, but neither of us knows what to say to him. Is he just a fucked up guy who likes to steal motor oil and scare the shit out of people? Or is he something else? I don't know if this is crazy, but does anyone think this has to do with something with the time loop? My boss never said he noticed anything like that in the other tapes, but the way he popped up in this one made me feel like I knew he would be watching. It's like he wanted me to see what he could do. Like he was showing off or something. The way he smiled into the camera was like a little kid showing you a sandcastle they built or something. I don't know. I probably sound crazy. I should feel the part. I'm going to talk to my boss some more. We have to calm ourselves down and figure out how to handle this. I'll update again tonight, but I have a really bad feeling about how this is going to play out. Update 4:43 PM. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 5:53 PM. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 6:33 PM. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 7:33 PM. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's been disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 8:33 PM. No sign of Jeremy. Tried calling him, but his phone's disconnected. We're calling the police. Update 10:58 PM. Holy shit. Holy shit. I just got on and saw my previous updates. Things make less sense now than ever. Here's what I can tell you. I went to work, Jeremy never showed up, my boss and I decided to call the police, as you're well aware. When I picked up the phone to call though, the sun went out. I shit you not, that's what I thought happened. Apparently I blacked out for exactly 5 hours because when I looked back at the clock, it was 9:33. I think I got stuck in Jeremy's time loop and then I snapped out of it at the exact point I blacked out, if that makes sense. That's when things got really weird. My boss was standing right next to me when I blacked out, ready to corroborate my story to the cops. When I came to, the phone was in my hand but it was dead. Not even a dial tone. My boss was still there but it wasn't moving. He was standing up but frozen. I looked at the clock again, it wasn't moving. The second hand was stuck on 12. It was 9:33 exactly. The clock on the register wasn't moving either. My phone was frozen. There was even a customer at the register waiting for my boss to get him cigarettes. I'm betting that would have been his 5th pack of the day. I got the fuck out of there. Didn't lock up, didn't turn off the lights, and sorry guys, I didn't grab the security tapes uploaded on the internet. Believe me, that's the last thing that was on my mind. The gas station is on a major highway and cars were parked all along it, except they weren't parked, they were frozen. The people inside were sitting still as wax statues. I got in my car and prayed that it would start, thankfully it did. About halfway home, time started up again. The static from the radio turned into music like it's supposed to. And from what I could tell, I was listening from the host talk between shows. No one noticed the time freeze. Or wherever it was. I was the only one. Well, I'm sure Jeremy noticed as well. I'm sorry, I still have no clue where he is or what he's doing. I'm hiding in my room and calling the police again in the morning. I don't know if I ever got through to them before, or if I did, whether they took me seriously. I'm scared for my life at this point. I'll update tomorrow if I can. Final update, 10:33 AM. I fell asleep last night around 4. I have no idea how I did it. I guess exhaustion finally got the better of me. This morning I woke up to my phone ringing. It's my boss. He'd been calling me since around 6. He woke up when time turned on last night and immediately called the cops. They came by to see what was wrong and he told them everything. The police around here are small-time guys. They were more concerned with the missing motor oil than anything. But my boss figured he would take it as long as he had their attention. They decided to go looking for Jeremy. We all kept our employee applications on file, and since Jeremy just started working there, his was easy to find. They checked the address on it and headed over to his house. You're not going to believe what they found. The address that Jeremy listed on his application was an empty lot, or at least now it is. There used to be a house there, but it burned down in 1993. Being a small town, almost everyone remembers that fire. I found their father used to live there way back when. Rumour has it they had an estranged son who never really talked about, but I can't say for certain if that's true. What I can say is that after an insurance investigation, the fire was ruled as arson. The entire house was soaked in oil and torched with a Molotov cocktail. The entire family was sleeping when it happened, none of them survived. They never caught the guy who did it. Rumour has it that when they tried to contact the estranged son, no one could find him. Anyway, my boss told me this and I freaked out. Then he told me to come to the gas station. What, are you crazy? I said, but he assured me that the cops were there with him. Then he dropped the bomb. The FBI were also in town, they were going to talk to me one way or another, so I might as well come in. It was around 7:15 and I wanted to get back to bed, but I figured I wouldn't be able to sleep much more anyway, so I went down. 4 men in suits greeted me and told me to have a seat. We went over everything 2 or 3 times until they got all the details down. I told them about Jeremy, the security tape, last night at work, everything. Finally, after I finished, one of the agents said, "Oh Christ, you've got another one on our hands." Then they made me sign a bunch of papers saying I wouldn't tell anyone about this, so I can't say much more. I might be breaking the law just by posting this. So now I'm home. I'm not sure what to do with myself. The agent's last words when I told them the story are going to haunt me for the rest of my life. Anyway, I've got to go. I've got some errands I've run today. And then I have to go to work to pick up some tapes. My boss and I think this new guy, Jeremy, is a complete creep. He's stealing motor oil. And I have to watch the security footage to see if I can catch him doing anything. I have better things to do, but my boss is paying the overtime, under the table. I'm trying to save up for vacation so I could really use the money. Should be pretty simple. The oil always goes missing after his shifts. I figure I'll just watch the tapes, catch him in the act, and that'll be that. Ooh. And on that bombshell, that's the end of the pasta. I actually really liked that. I genuinely really did. Do you want to know what would make this better, though? If the guy who had released it, hold on, let's scroll back down here. If powerhawkmash had released the actual security tapes of it, that would have been absolutely sick. There's probably fan videos on the internet. Actually, let me just go to Google here. Hold on. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any. Although, I must say, I actually really liked it. The twist at the end was quite good as well. Although, I didn't really get what the FBI said at the end of the story. Bloody. When they said, oh, Christ, we've got another one on our hands. Does that mean that there's multiple, like, time benders in this world? Did powerhawkmash release any other stuff? Is this like an overarching universe? I want to check. Ah, deleted his Reddit account. Shame. Oh well. I liked it. The time loop part was interesting. Then part was good. And yeah, it was actually really good. So that was way better than I thought it would be. Because this is quite an old one, so usually they're not very good. And yeah, I'm gonna do the history of Slenderman thing research soon. So once that happens, it'll actually be a decent video because I'll wrote a script, I've taken notes. I might try editing it, but although I'm really not a big fan of editing. And so yeah, that was the pasta by powerhawkmash. If you like the video, feel free to like, share, subscribe, share, comment, do all that stuff. Do all that good shibiz that helps me out. And that was the Chat Kid signing up.